So it is to you, sensible and sober people, turn. The defense force, the police service, law enforcement in a civilized society. You all are the ones who are trained, do not even need a license to carry a firearm. By virtue of the nature of your work, you are allowed to have them without license. You understand what the legal requirements are, you understand the terms of our Constitution, and you are best able to protect us from criminality. So, having interfaced with the IATF and an appreciation for what you do, having interfaced with the Police Transit Unit and understanding the critical role that they play as well, every police officer will tell us, quite obviously, that the roads are a very important component of the scenario, and they are necessary for people to move from one place to the next, especially, and of course, if they are moving with illegal items to get from one place to the next. Management and control of the roads, very, very important. And the police transit unit, the transit unit, they are responsible for some of the public thoroughfares and the transit hubs around Trinidad and Tobago, and that didn't come by chance. That came as a result of an upsurge in attacks on passengers using that main thoroughfare that we call the bus route from Port of Spain to Arima. There was a time, it still happens but not as frequently, when you would hear almost daily they stick up a maxi, fellas jump on a maxi one place when they're coming off, they rob everybody in the maxi, they're gone. They assault maxi driver, make the taxi driver go somewhere off route at the barrel of a gun. At the transit hubs where thousands of people gather, thousands of people pass. In this world of terrorism, you need to keep a watch on the places that are used in those circumstances. The transit unit, therefore, plays a very critical role and provides great support. As I told elements of the transit unit recently, I think it was a couple days ago I was with them, that when the transit unit operates and operates effectively and efficiently, the Commissioner of Police can know that that estate is well managed, well taken care of, and I really don't have to expend particular resources necessarily to deal with it. Critical. And therefore, the transit unit came into the operation. As a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, I take a look at the television from time to time, and in particular, I pay some attention to the program carried on by Mr. Alexander and others of a media house. Beyond the tape, and I would see on at least 3 occasions officers of your Port of Spain Division task force in operation on the road. And as the whole police, recognizing good police work, I took note of a particular officer among them who carried out his duty in a way that suggested to me as a lawyer, wearing my lawyer's hat, that this was a man who understood what was required in the judge's rules and in police regulations and standing orders, and I would hear him going through the paces with members of the public in a most dignified, professional, but firm manner. Everything about him suggested that he was in control of himself, of his troops, and this situation. And I could not help but admire that. As a consequence, Madam Commissioner, I inquired about that particular officer of the Port of Spain Division Task Force, And having observed a couple incidents where he was, by virtue of his professionalism, able to detect serious offenses and to prosecute them, we, having looked at this, felt sufficiently inspired, impressed, confident of the future to have asked his then senior superintendent, Mr. Alexander, to present some facts around him. And he too is one of the awardees here today. And then I would learn, much to the CDS's pride and joy, that the man of whom I speak had a background in the institution of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force. So the CDS is now equally proud.
Commendee comes out of the Police Service Port of Spain Division. Corporal Alester Williams continues to be an asset to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. His approach to the job is firm, clear, and courteous disposition to the members of the public and his team, as well as his ability to cope with the demands of the profession in a consistently professional manner epitomizes a model police officer. His conduct and activities have displayed a personality which can be described as uniquely sound. He can be easily accredited to being a serious-minded, focused individual who demonstrates positive sense of self-awareness and diligence. On April 9, 2013, Corporal Williams of the Port of Spain Divisional Task Force supervised the team to an exercise entitled Operation Easter Strike. Several warrants were executed and home search for narcotics, as well as firearms and ammunition, which resulted in 35 rounds of assorted ammunition being discovered. Corporal Williams. Myself, I did say 2013, of course April 9, 2023. At this time, we would like to call Mr. Charles up and Mr. Benjamin from the Transit Police. Mr. Charles and Mr. Benjamin, Madam Commissioner. These awardees come from the Trinidad and Tobago Transit Police. First up, Corporal Kwesi Ned. You were recently elevated to the rank of Police Corporal, having served as a Transit Police Constable from 2015 to 2022. You have consistently displayed exceptional leadership skills, which have contributed to the successful apprehension and conviction of several individuals involved in criminal activities. Your ability to complete delegated tasks ahead of schedule and above the required standard has been instrumental in achieving positive outcomes in crime prevention and law enforcement efforts. Corporal Ned. Next, PC Joseph Gill. In recognition of your excellent performance in 2022, you have shown exceptional commitment to upholding the law and ensuring public safety, your ability to collaborate effectively with other law enforcement agencies, as well as your meticulous attention to detail, have been instrumental in achieving successful outcomes in challenging investigations. Your efforts have not only resulted in arrests and convictions, but also have contributed to a safer environment for all. Mr. Gill? Finally, from the Transit Police, WPC Kizzy Muddy. Am I pronouncing that right? Moody. You have made exceptional contributions in the field of crime fighting. Your dedication and perseverance have assisted in the successful arrests and convictions of several individuals involved in criminal activities during your short but eventful career in the Transit Police Unit. Your tireless efforts have resulted in a significant blow to criminal activities and have ensured the safety of the communities you serve. For excellent performance in 2022, WPC PC Movie. I will ask Ms. Gill Charles and Mr. Benjamin to please have their seats. We now go on to commend members of the Defense Force attached to the Intervention Task Force. Staff Sergeant Kevon Jones has been nominated for his leadership and dedication to duty as the senior non-commissioned officer in charge of the IATF Engineer Detachment. It is noted that when called upon, Staff Sergeant Jones has always responded with a timely basis, executing the given task efficiently and effectively. Additionally, Staff Sergeant Jones provides valuable feedback as is a motivation for his peers and subordinates, and contributes to the successful completion of his task. This senior non-commissioned officer performs to the highest standard of every IATF installation where he has been placed for duty. dedication to duty greatly contributes to the operational effectiveness of the IATF. Staff Sergeant Kevin Jones. Finally, last but not least, was Senior Superintendent of Police. Now he is Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police. Congratulations, sir. Continues to exemplify strong leadership and dedication as he serves as the head of both Interagency Task Force and National Operation Task Force. His enthusiasm and commitment to community service has resulted in the conceptualization and successful execution of several community initiatives within the Port of Spain and Lavender areas. He continues to be a great motivator within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. His steadfast commitment to duty serves as an exemplary model throughout the communities he continues to be in service of and on the national level. Commended for dedication to duty, the appreciation of his leadership, dedication and commitment to the IATF and by extension the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, my friend, Oswald Sabero.